You know onions, right? Those round, tasty things that make you cry when you chop them? They're a big part of our meals. But how do you get them from the ground to your kitchen? Leaving the kitchen for the farm, we're uncovering the secrets of onion farming. From tiny seed to store ready bulb, there's a story behind each onion. Join us as we reveal how these onions journey from expensive fields to your table. The phrase dry onion is often used to distinguish them from green onions, which are often pulled before a significant bulb has grown and while the tops are still green. The majority of the equipment used for planting and harvesting may be utilized for other crops, and many field tasks, including land preparation, planting, and harvesting, can be hired specifically. The Amaryllidaceae family, which includes the common dry onion, has its roots in mid-Asia, specifically in what is now northwest India, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Onions were reportedly one of the most widely utilized vegetables in the 16th century, according to reports. They came in red and white variants and had flavors that were either sweet, robust, or in between. Soon after their discovery, the Spanish brought the onion to the West Indies. From there, onions were grown by the earliest settlers and then shortly after by Native Americans in all parts of the Americas. Garlic, leeks, chives, Welsh onions, and shallots are relatives of onions. Did you know that over 120,000 acres are harvested annually, yielding close to 7 billion pounds of onions in the US? How's the planting of onions strategized to make them grow in the best way possible? Onions are typically planted in single rows with 24 inches between rows and 75,000 to 120,000 plants spaced 2 inches apart per acre by farmers. The in-row spacing would be 4 to 6 inches between plants for big sweet or Spanish onions. Onions can be planted in many rows on raised beds coated with black plastic mulch if you're not constrained by equipment space limits. To make production and harvest activities easier in this instance, 2 drip cassettes are buried 2 inches beneath the earth. You can use injection-based fertilizer during the growing season and get the best plant development and yields when you drip irrigate your onions. An annual soil test should serve as the basis for fertilizer application rates. The suggested NPK, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium application rates, are 60, 80 pounds per acre banded at planting, or 120, 160 pounds per acre broadcast before planting if you're unable to complete tests, including tests for calcium. Early May is the best time to side dress sweet onions with a spring application of calcium or potassium nitrate at a rate of 100 pounds per acre. How should the onions be harvested? Your ability to successfully harvest onions will be based on how well you plant and maintain them throughout the growing season. As soon as the garden can be worked, plant onions. Bulb development is aided by rich soil, regular rainfall, and moderate temperatures. You need to know when to harvest onions for the finest flavor in addition to doing good planting. Green onion tops should be harvested as soon as they reach a height of 6 inches. The green tops get stronger the longer you wait to harvest them. Onion bulbs must be stored after being plucked. Before being preserved, the onions must first be dried. Spread the onions out on a clean, dry surface in a room with good ventilation, such as a garage or a shed to dry them. At least 2 to 3 weeks of curing time are required for onions, or until the outer skin turns slightly crunchy and the upper necks are fully dry. Once the tops have finished drying, trim them to within an inch. Before we move further, hit that subscribe button and bell icon so that you can get such latest updates in the first go. Onions should only be grown on friable soils, which are rich in organic matter, have good water infiltration rates, and have a high ability to hold moisture. The pH of the soil should be between 5.8 and 6.6, and it shouldn't be compacted. Onion cultivation frequently takes place on muck and sandy loam soils. It's advised to use soils with low sulfur content for the cultivation of sweet Spanish onions. Onion bulbing is mostly caused by the photoperiod, or length of the days. For the northeastern United States, long day and intermediate day onion types are both suggested. The skin colors such as red, white, brown, or yellow, flavors such as sweet or pungent, and bulb from such as round, flat, or globe of onions are further categories. Fertilizing and planting onions can be planted as sets or transplants. 10 to 12 weeks before they're planted in the field, transplants are seeded in the greenhouse. Onions can be transplanted as early as mid-March because they're a cool season crop. Trim the plant tops to a height of 4 inches when making transplants in the greenhouse to ensure a robust, durable transplant. So this was all about the plantation and harvesting of onions. Thanks for watching.